I'm so honored that you are spending these few minutes with me as we close out our weekend and we get ready for the new week and the new day tomorrow. So let's just get comfortable in our spots wherever you have landed for these few minutes. And once you're in your spot and you're feeling anchored down, whether you are seated or lying down, but just really root yourself to your place where you are. And then allow your eyes to close. And let's just start with a few collective breaths together. So begin to fill up your belly as much as you can, breathing in together. And then gently letting it go. And again, fill up that belly all the way into your chest. And then gently let it go. One more time together. Breathe in. Then gently let it go. And then you can continue that same pace of breath or find one that is a little closer to what you need for yourself. But the main thing is stay connected to the inhale and the exhale. Let it serve as an anchor for these few minutes that we have together. And so as you are settling in where you are, it is a beautiful time in the universe. It is a time where in the next 24, 36 hours or so, we'll have a beautiful full moon in the sky. And then in just 2 weeks, we will have the spring equinox, which is that day that we usually associate with just changing the time, but it really is an ushering in of a new season. It's a beautiful time in nature, in all the patterns around us. We'll talk more about that in the days to come, but today, we're already in the middle of all of this amazing energy from the patterns of nature. And one of the greatest things we can do for ourselves is as nature's patterns go from the moon cycles to the tide coming in and out, to the seasons of the year, to the 29 days as the moon circles the earth. Within those patterns comes calibration for us. There comes calibration for our physical selves, for our mental selves, for our emotional selves, our energetic selves. And so those patterns in nature don't just happen by accident. They give us a routine to try and follow. And these routines consist of activity and rest, and activity and rest. And if we can learn to really tune into what's happening around us in the atmosphere, in nature, it will allow us to feel healing within ourselves. And so for these few minutes that we have, I really just want to just kind of harness the energy that's coming with this beautiful full moon in the next day or so, and then the energy that will follow with the equinox. And so just continue to breathe in nice and slow rhythms of inhales and exhales. And what we'll do across these few minutes is I want us to set some intentions. The new moon, or the new full moon, is such a beautiful time to do that. It represents fullness and wholeness. And so what a perfect time to set intentions, to reaffirm intentions that you've been working with, and to clear out the stuff that's getting in the way of them. And so we'll do that tonight with 3 questions for ourselves. And so before I ask the questions, I first just want to encourage you as much as me that we're not looking for the answers to the questions in these minutes that we have together. We're just looking for an open spirit that's willing to ask the questions. So much of our life is spent seeking answers, but our meditation practice reminds us to slow down and pause and just ask the right questions. And then over the coming days, in your moments of quiet and stillness, answers will begin to appear. You'll begin to hear. You'll be able to respond. And so often our answers are coming and clear paths are coming, but we miss them because we're so engaged and active all the time. But again, if we'll pay attention to nature, there's a pattern: activity and rest. And that's where we are now. So just continue to breathe in nice and slow, deep, peaceful rhythms. And the first question that I want us to ask says, what do I desire to have happen in my life? Or to simplify it a bit, what's my purpose? What do I desire to have happen in my life? What's my purpose? So let's just sit for a couple of breaths and let that question just hang in the space around you. What do I desire to have happen in my life? What is my purpose? And again, we're not seeking the answers in this moment. We're just being open here in the pause while we ask the question. And so the second question says, what is a barrier to my being able to manifest that desire and fulfill my purpose? What is a barrier? Whether it's my own barrier or something external, what is a barrier to me being able to manifest that desire in my life and fulfill my purpose? And again, I'm not trying to answer. Just ask the question, what's my barrier? What's in my way? And then the third question as we head into this full moon season this week says, am I willing to let go of whatever is standing in the way of me living out my purpose every single day? And I know the simplicity of it is it's a yes or no question. Don't answer it, just ask. Am I willing to let go of whatever is standing in the way of me fulfilling my purpose and manifesting my desires? Am I willing to let go? And so I want those three questions just to sit. And I can tell you, as I asked that third one, I knew what I was asking, and still there's this lump in my throat. Because we want to jump in and say, of course we're ready to let go. But we know it's much easier said than it is done. Some of us have barriers that we have carried for a very long time. Some of them are external and other people have put them there, and usually those are the easiest ones to remove. The ones that are the most difficult are the ones that we've created for ourselves. Through our own doubt, through the guilt or the shame that we impose on ourselves for mistakes and bad decisions in the past, for a lack of belief that we deserve whatever that desire and that purpose is. And I could go on, but there's so many things that we put in our path as a barrier. And so what I'd like us to do is I want each of us in our space where we are to begin to picture what a full moon looks like. You've seen them so many times. You'll see it again in the coming hours. Picture that full moon. And then remember how you saw the moon as you looked up at the sky over the last couple of weeks, and how there was just a little bit of it there. And we know logically that it's because the earth is in the way. But what we also know is that the moon just keeps moving. It keeps moving until the barrier of the earth is out of the way and the reflection of the sun can bring the full light. And so what a beautiful example for you and me. there are barriers. And even though I told you not to answer the question yet, I know some of us are seeing them. I feel mine right in my throat. But couldn't we be like the moon and just keep moving forward until the barrier gets out of the way and we have access to all the light? The patterns in nature are not accidental. They are lessons and reminders and encouragers for us. So as we begin to grow quiet, I want to just pose those questions once more and let them just sit with you. Let them just hang in the space where you are. Don't let your mind become distracted and try to answer. Just breathe and let the questions just be. What do I desire to have happen in my life, and what is my purpose? What is a barrier that's in the way of me manifesting that desire and fulfilling my purpose? And am I willing to remove the barrier so that I can truly live out that desire and that purpose? So let's just sit. And if you need a visual, picture that big full moon that's coming. See the light. See the possibility. And with that sound, just remain where you are, seated or lying down with your eyes closed. Bring your attention back to the space that we're sharing. I started off with the fact that the full moon is a great time to set new intentions, and so I want to share an intention with you. That maybe between now and that moon, when it manifests fully on Tuesday and takes its place in the night sky, maybe you'll find some connection to this intention. I have a purpose, and I'm worth the investment to live it out. I have a purpose, and I'm worth the investment to live it out. That investment might be time, it could be energy, it could be some self-study. It could be all kinds of things. But it's kind of like what that moon symbolizes. It represents some movement, some action on our part, making an investment in us. There's no one else on this universe, in this universe or on this planet, that has the same purpose as you, or that has the same purpose as I do. Which means that makes it even more important that we discover it, that we believe in our value in having it, and that we make an investment in ourselves to begin living it out. I have a purpose, and I'm worth the investment to live it out. Namaste.